Did you know that some U.S. presidents weren't born in the states they're most closely associated with? In fact, several of them moved, sometimes far from home, before launching their political careers. Today, we're diving into the fascinating stories of presidents who changed their home states before running for the highest office in the land. Let's start with Abraham Lincoln. Born in Kentucky, raised in Indiana, but politically forged in Illinois, Lincoln is a perfect example of presidential migration. He moved to Illinois at 21 and began building his career as a lawyer and legislator. By the time he ran for president, he was known as the rail splitter from Illinois, even though he spent none of his childhood there. While not a president, Hillary Clinton deserves an honorable mention. Born and raised in Illinois, she moved to Arkansas with Bill Clinton and later launched her own political career from New York, becoming a senator and eventually a presidential candidate. Her story reflects a broader trend of political relocation in American politics. Herbert Hoover, the 31st president, was born in Iowa, grew up in Oregon, and became internationally known as a humanitarian long before entering U.S. politics. Despite his bicoastal upbringing, he ran for president from California, where he had strong political ties and support. Dwight Eisenhower was born in Texas but raised in Kansas, which he often credited for shaping his values. After his military career, he settled in New York as president of Columbia University and eventually ran for president as a New Yorker. Despite this, Kansas proudly claims Ike as their own. Richard Nixon was born in California, but after losing the California governor's race, he moved to New York to work in law. He later re-emerged on the national scene and won the presidency in 1968. Although he never changed his home state officially, this move was strategic and helped him rebuild his career. Donald Trump, famously tied to New York, made headlines in 2019 when he officially changed his residence to Florida. While his presidential campaign was deeply rooted in New York in 2016, the switch to Florida reflected personal and political motivations, lower taxes, and a new electoral battleground. Joe Biden is closely associated with Delaware, where he lived for most of his life and served as senator for over 3 decades, but he was actually born in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Though he didn't move for political reasons, his Pennsylvania roots became a key part of his narrative in 2020, especially in a critical swing state. So why do some presidents move before running? For some, it's about opportunity, like Lincoln finding his voice in Illinois or Hoover, running from a supportive California base. For others, it's strategy, like Trump aligning with Florida's growing political power. In a country as vast and diverse as the U.S., home is often where the political future is brightest. From the rail splitter of Illinois to the billionaire of Florida, the paths to the presidency are rarely straight. These stories remind us that identity, geography, and ambition often intersect in fascinating ways. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment which presidential move surprised you the most.